Welcome to Energy Linguist, a sacred space for awakening souls ready to receive divine transmissions and the raw truth that sets them free. I am Laura Ahern, a spiritual channel and energy translator here to bring through messages from highest guidance to help you hear your inner knowing, reclaim who you are beneath the noise, and live from the truth within. Take a breath. You've found the space where remembering begins. Hello, this is Laura, the Energy Linguist, and I'm so excited to have you back here again with me for this episode of Energy Linguist Podcast. And today is a really powerful message because we're going to be talking about how to break free from chronic healing and victim consciousness by recognizing that you are not the one who needs to transform, at least not in the ways we've been told we need to. You are the transformation. And embodying who you've always been beneath the stories is imperative in order to reconnect you with your power. And today, there are really powerful insights and messages that are here to be gifted to you so that you are no longer separate from this power, the power that is you. Many of you who have worked with me or been listening to this podcast understand that one of my own spiritual gifts is that I am able to see from this higher perspective that the veil has been made extraordinarily thin for me. And divinity shows me the true vibration beneath our stories and our words, the truth, the deeper meaning, the divine orchestration that exists beneath our lore. And when we're talking about lore, what I mean is our traditions, the knowledge that has been passed down, the stories, the very stories that we live as, not just by or casually believe in, but we live as them. There are many things that you have experienced through this lifetime and many lifetimes before. Challenges that you do not yet know yourself as separate from. And today, our highest guidance, your angels and your support team are coming through to share the truth with you that you can be separate from them. And in fact, you're being invited to be separate from them so that you can finally be that which you have been meant to be all along. The truest vibration of you, embracing your spiritual nature. What this means is that you have an opportunity today. It's always been an opportunity. And today they're unveiling it to you so that you can choose whether or not you will receive this gift. And the opportunity is that you can choose to be free of that which limits and pains you. There is a light that guides you. It's infinite. It's the eternal flame, this cosmic light that never dims. And it exists both within you and around you. When your soul chose to come here during this lifetime, we became somewhat tethered, as you know, to our material self. And in fact, what divinity is showing me is that for much of your life, in many arenas of your life, there were points in time where you only saw yourself as that physical, material being. And these are the times in which your survival structures were at their highest vigilance, when you were operating from survival of your physical form. In many ways, You are evolutionarily wired to see yourself as separate from this heavenly light. But this could not be further from the truth. Yes, in our human experiences, we become fixated on the material world, on the material self. And we are seduced by the material world on account of all of its sensory experiences. And we learn how to work within it to survive. In fact, we learn it to be our only reality at some points in time. And today you're being reminded that the physical reality that you perceived is anything but solid. It is not itself concrete or immovable. And instead, you're being invited to recognize that the part that is concrete has been the lens through which you are perceiving your human experience. And this is a lens that is under your control to be adjusted. Now, I know that this can feel impossible in many ways because we have lived and experienced our lives so repetitively in ways that we come to believe that certain things will always be as they are. In fact, there is a seed, I am shown, that exists within you that is not of you. It is of your lore, of those who came before you, that says, I am this way. This is just the way I am. And it's important to identify this seed so that we do not nurture this deceiving and false idea. When we embrace this vibration that I am just this way, or this is just the way it's always been, what we're choosing to believe in those moments within that vibration is that we cannot escape that which we've experienced. And that is anything but true. The challenges, the pain, all of the obstacles that you have gone through, that you have experienced, are here to awaken you. And you have a choice on whether or not you perceive them as such, whether or not you choose to believe that this light that is guiding you has been divinely orchestrated in your favor to illuminate that which must be seen and released, resolved, or whether you're going to choose to believe that there is a stuck, concrete, physical ideal that is immovable and unchangeable. And this is the choice that you are being given today, to choose between what you have thought yourself to be, the patterns of the mind that you've been addicted to, or to make a commitment to lean into the fact that there is a higher power orchestrating all which is unfolding in your life. Part of the reason that these patterns feel immovable is because practice makes perfect. And when we're looking beyond the word perfect into its roots, the very vibration of the word perfect, it doesn't mean that everything's right. Well, some people hear it as practice makes perfect, as in perfection, having no flaw. But that's not actually the root of the word. The vibrational root of perfect is to thoroughly make. And when you look at what thorough means, it literally means going all the way through, to be complete, to not leave anything out, traveling from one end to another. And so the truth is, we do practice until it makes perfect. We practice until something is complete, until we have not left anything out. We practice until we can perfectly repeat that which we've been shown is real. And when they're showing me this revelation, what this message means is that many of us have made ourselves perfect within the perceived limits of our past, within the perceived limits and challenges of our ancestors. The truth around perfect and not leaving anything out is that when we commit ourselves to practice that which is not of our own unique vibrational truth, that which is not of your true integrity as a spirit or soul, you do end up leaving out one thing. You leave out you. We work within our limits for so long that we begin to believe ourselves to be those very limits. And the truth is, you are not those limits. This light that guides you, you are of it, and it is of you. You are one in this cosmic whole, never separate from the power and the peace that you're seeking. This is the very 5D consciousness, the new world experience that we've been talking about, that we are literally moving into. As this awakening period continues to move forward, we move into this 5D consciousness, which shifts us from the separation into wholeness. From the perceptions and belief that I am fragmented or broken or not enough, into recognizing that you are not only enough, you are whole. You are perfect. You are powerful. And this human experience is yours to navigate and leverage to bring you back into the fullest harmony of your being. The place where you are not only at the greatest peace, but you come into the greatest fulfillment of allowing yourself to contribute that which you uniquely are to the rest of the world. To have the contribution and the impact that your soul desires to have. This year, for you, is not about healing anymore or working to transform yourself anymore. Because when you work with that old commitment of healing, you become addicted to the idea that you are somehow broken and need to be mended. And that is not the truth. The truth is that within you there is a healer. within you is the transformation that another soul requires. And the messaging that divinity is bringing you is that it is your time to make your challenges matter. What you've seen, what you've been through, what feels intolerable to your soul in your heart. It is time to make that matter. You cannot do it from the silence. It does not happen from staying in the patterns and the actions of old. The cycles that the majority of the collective are still stuck in, mesmerized by, plugged into the matrix of numbing their mission out just to get by. You are not broken. And I invite you to take this opportunity to claim that with your creator consciousness by saying it out loud to yourself. I am not broken. I am not in need of fixing. I am wise. I am the sage that came to share that which my soul knows. You are being called into impact. You're being called into allowing your soul to make the difference that it came here to make. And what's been in the way has been our addiction to our pain and our past. Today, you are being awakened yet again. As it would be with all of these channeled messages on this podcast, divinity seeks to expand your consciousness beyond its old limits. And what I really hope that you can see in this messaging is that peace awakens within our lives rather unpeacefully. But just because something's challenging doesn't mean it's not the path. Through your pain, through your challenges, through the impossible odds and obstacles, you rise, you learn. You can lean into trusting the divine orchestration. And often, this path looks like endings. It looks like completion or surrender. And though that is necessary, it's also necessary to not mistake what those things are actually doing in our lives. What are they meant for? Surrender does not mean forfeiting or giving in. Rather, it means giving it up to that higher power. Letting it go with trust and compassion, with the recognition that all has been given so that you may rise. And this includes your experiences that feel unjust or painful or impossible to figure out. It is time to stop wrestling with the analytical mind, that hypermasculine yang energy of manipulating the material world, and instead make the choice to turn the tide with your willingness to be different, to be in the yin receiving, in the pause, in the trust, in the experiences, to explore them with curiosity, to see the wisdom that is calling you to awaken. Today, you are being reminded that your experiences are not meant to be held, but rather they are meant to be lived, to be experienced. All of these challenges, all of these ideals that life is stuck in some way, has been meant to move through us. And what has gotten you stuck up until this point is the idea that you are working alone as a human being, wrestling with this material experience that you cannot undo or break the chain of. And you're right. You can't. Not from your human self alone. Not from the physical being that you have believed yourself to be, and its limits that you have allowed yourself to be tethered to. You get to choose to integrate your human experiences with your spiritual nature. That very yang yin balance of hard and soft, of dark and light, of the material and spiritual. And you get to choose what happens when your experiences move through you. And when I say move through you, we're talking about your experiences moving through your lens of consciousness, your perception of them. Many of us have remained in a life that has felt stuck. And our life has not changed in the ways that we yearn for it to be different yet, because of the commitment to operating under these beliefs and cycles, that electrical current of our memories, and not just the remembering of, but rather the identifying ourselves as the memory. We have allowed those memories to set the lens that we then understand the world through. And with it, we determine what is possible for us. The messaging coming through today is here because the collective has been caught up as being the pattern, as being the memory, and being in this chronic state of healing, fixing it for too long. This desire to fix it is an addiction and a refusal to accept that which we wish hadn't happened. We fight it with that yang energy, wrestle with it, divert all of our resources, invest our most sacred, vital life energy into the past pain in the hopes that we can eradicate it. And though we can dismantle it, it is not from the energy of focusing on the fixing. We dismantle it by allowing it to be transmuted from the darkness of our pain into the light of our purpose. This messaging is here today because you have felt the pain for so long and held it until you've become identified with it within your own vibration, that you have become the victim of your own conclusions. So what exactly do I mean by this? The root meaning of the word victim means sacrificial animal or person offered to a deity. And when you connect this to its Latin meaning, which is to bind, to conquer, and its Proto-Indo-European meaning, to separate or set apart from, the true vibration beneath the victim is that your perception, your very conclusion about your experiences have caused you to become separate from the power of your own light, binding yourself for sacrifice. You have sacrificed your spiritual truth and your spiritual power, given it up to a false deity of blame, shame, and guilt. Today, you are being invited to challenge this idea that you're broken and need to be fixed. You're being challenged to stop the addiction of constantly looking at what is wrong, what has pained you, and to decide and claim in that decision who you are. You don't need a new year to become someone new. This threshold that we have stepped into isn't about becoming something different, though your mind might even perceive this messaging as such. Instead, it's about unbecoming that which you never were. You were never meant to be fragmented. You were never meant to operate and disconnect from your wholeness. And this year, this day, this moment is your opportunity to embody that which you have always been. Beyond the doing and the proving and the endless striving and the self-sacrifice. This is your year to move beyond the patterns that have kept you in a familiar zone, but left your life feeling small. It is your time to move into who you are meant to be, beyond the version of you that waits for permission, that waits for perfection, that waits for you to feel qualified and to finally see beyond the limits and the veil into your fullest potential. This is the year that you stop wanting the change and you start being it. Your journey through this lifetime was not meant to be soft. It was meant to be an adventure. And you were journeying from something that you were, something that the collective consciousness was, your ancestors were, your lifetimes were, and into something that your soul desires to be, that the collective desires to be, that the future desires to be. And you're headed in that direction. You came here for evolution, the evolution of your spirit. And you have gone through what you've gone through because you are headed somewhere. This is your moment to choose yourself, to decide that you are not the one who needs to transform, not in the way of the fixer energy of this idea that you are broken, but instead you are the transformation. Your journey matters. Your differences in the way you perceive the world, the solutions you know exist in your heart, they matter. And this year isn't about resolution energy. It is revelation energy. And I'm grateful that you've heard this message, to have these beautiful seeds planted within your consciousness and awareness so that you may tend to them and nurture them with your emotion, your love, your belief, so that it gives rise to the gifts you are meant to share with the world. For those of you women who are listening to this, who deeply resonate with this message, and I know there are many of you, because what God is showing me is the need to awaken women into their contribution. I want to invite you to join me at a glorious retreat in the Redwoods, the I Am Beyond retreat, this upcoming March 2026, where embodiment meets this elevation. These ancient redwoods hold the space for you to remember and to come into the full claiming and truth that you are in fact the transformation. Any lack of clarity on your path, lack of confidence, lack of receiving, lack of abundance can be restored in a matter of days to set you on a path that is unlike anything you have yet to experience in this life. Because that is what this new year offers. It is not only a container for miracles, it is your invitation to finally be that which you know you are meant to be, beyond all limits. For those of you ready to claim it, claim your space in this world, I invite you to visit lauraahern.com/retreat and claim your sacred space to receive, to refill, and to overflow your light into the world. To let your light lead you and to lead others. Because that is what you came here for. May you be ever blessed until we meet again. With light and love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, for listening with your heart, and for opening to the truth meant just for you. If this transmission resonated, I invite you to visit lauraahern.com for free resources and sacred support to help you accelerate your awakening and walk your path with more power, trust, and grace. Until next time, trust what you feel, honor what you know, and believe in your power to create something greater than you've ever imagined.